A relationship has a phenomenal ingredient that is like the source for change. And that ingredient is frustrations.
Yumi could say, you know, it's a pleasure to drive with Hedy. All I have to do is hold the steering wheel because she's going to tell me, turn right, turn left, park here, park there. It's a total relaxation. I don't really have to think. I hold the wheel, she directs. It's so fun. But if he was micromanaged in his childhood, it wouldn't be fun. He'd be tense, and he couldn't stand it.
This is really will sound to you as the most ridiculous of frustrations. It frustrates me that Hedy hangs the toilet paper so it unfurls clockwise rather than counterclockwise. She winds up with about 10 feet, which she then makes into a ball. Tiny frustrations reach back to very significant parts of your childhood. The way they touch your childhood is not necessarily one-to-one, namely somebody, you had an issue around toilet paper when you were a kid. That's not what we're talking about. It's about the feelings that come up when I watch Hedy wasting. What does that take me back to? It takes me back to a family where I never got an allowance, where I so wanted an ice cream that I actually stole some money from my governess, was discovered, and wound up locked up in the cellar. Now, it wasn't a basement. It was a Transylvanian cellar. It was terrible, and I was knocking on the door. Let me out, let me out. So do I have an association with toilet paper? You betcha.
Edwin, I would like to invite you over the bridge. I have a small frustration. What frustrates me is having to move your shoes out of the way to access the clothes in the closet.
Tiny frustrations have roots into the same early childhood hurts than big frustrations. So it's kind of like leaving your socks on the floor and not having enough sex goes to the same place of pay attention to me, listen to what I have to say, be with me, honor me, goes to the same place in childhood. So rather tackle you leaving your socks on the floor than we're not having enough sex, because leaving the socks on the floor, you can really begin to change.
And so the way I felt as a little girl was that the world is an unsafe place. That there's no room for me to be in it and to be who I am. And so I don't have much desire to be here.
It makes a lot of sense to me. Because as a little child, you're so dependent on other people to make space for you. You don't know how to ask for it. And if nobody notices you, how do you know you're there?
And now you see, Karen, I'm starting to understand a little bit about when I leave my shoes in front of the closet where you have to go reach your clothes.
So, Karen, I am beginning to understand a little bit about how you feel when I leave my shoes. All the time. I leave when my shoes, in fact, live in your way. In between you and your clothes, my large shoes, my 3 or 4 pairs.
And now you check, have I understood you? It's always good to check.
Have I understood you completely?
Totally.